YouTube? In today's video, we got Pooh Shiesty indeed, in fact, robbed Gucci Mane. And Gucci Mane told and ran to the feds. So let's get straight to it, man.
Man, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of EOS. It's 1090 Jake, man. I'm rocking with y'all rocking with me. And for this video, we're gonna be speaking on how Pooh Shiesty robbed and kidnapped Gucci, how Gucci snitched on Pooh Shiesty, how Pooh Shiesty's father is a government informant. This is gonna be one of the craziest videos of 2026.
9 individuals, including well-known musical artists, kidnapped and robbed at gunpoint numerous victims at a music studio in Dallas, Texas. 8 of the 9 were arrested yesterday in Dallas, Memphis, and Nashville. These individuals who are charged and arrested include Lontrell Williams Jr., also known as Pooh Shiesty.
It was well before, several hours before sunup, when they first heard a boom. It was then followed by shouting of from the agents who were saying that they were certainly executing a search warrant. I can tell you, after that boom, there was a back door that was breached.
It sounded like Gucci cooperated. It sounded like the victim. Gucci was a victim and gave his testimony. Come on over here with me, Gucci. It ain't all right.
Hey, Charleston White never fails to not make me laugh, fool. This nigga told Gucci, come over here with me, Gucci. Now this nigga is a professional, official civilian now after he told on Pooh Shiesty gang.
It's all right to go and be civilian. Yeah, come on. Yeah, this ain't, come on over here with me, Gucci. Press charges on their ass.
Flashbangs would pop off the federal search warrant of Memphis rapper Pooh Shiesty's home on April 1st, 2026. The next day, the United States Attorney for Northern Texas would announce 9 individuals, including well-known rappers, were federally charged with kidnapping and robbing at gunpoint numerous victims at a music studio in
Dumbest shit in the world.
8 of the 9 were arrested in one day, including Memphis rapper Lontrell Williams Jr., aka Pooh Shiesty, his father Lontrell Williams Sr., Memphis rapper Rodney Wright, aka Big30, and 6 others. A 32-page sealed criminal complaint would state on January 10th, 2026, at approximately 4:50 p.m., 3 victims were kidnapped and robbed at gunpoint at a music studio. The criminal complaint would list the 3 victims by their initials, RD, MM, and BP. But we all know RD is Roderick Davis, the 46-year-old Atlanta rap legend known as Gucci Mane. At approximately 1 p.m. that day, the victims flew into Dallas alongside Gucci's head of security and an additional security officer for a scheduled meeting with Pooh Shiesty, who'd been signed to Gucci's 1017 label since 2021. The meeting was scheduled because Shiesty was upset with the terms of his contract and wished to be released from the label, so he asked Gucci to meet about business. At approximately 1:45, Gucci and his team arrived at the meeting location, a music recording studio within a larger office building. Upon entering the building, they realized the recording studio was closed. In the meantime, they went to a nearby liquor store. Pooh Shiesty's father, who's more commonly known throughout the streets of Memphis as Mob Boss, ran an independent label named Mob Ties Records. Boss would call the owner of the Dallas recording studio at 2:53 p.m., trying to book the studio for Shiesty and Gucci to record music. This was over an hour after Gucci had already arrived. 22 minutes after the call, the studio was open to Gucci and his team. A short time later, Mob Boss could be seen on surveillance video speaking on his cell phone outside the building before entering. At 3:39, a production employee would arrive while Pooh Shiesty and his father were standing at the back of the office building, engaged in what appeared to be an argument over the phone. Just minutes later, Shiesty, along with his father, Big30, and 6 others, would enter the east side of the building, walking through the lobby and into the studio. One of the suspects at a later time can be seen exiting before shortly returning with a bag slung over his shoulder. All 9 suspects entered the studio's control room, where inside the victims were watching a football game. Gucci's head of security was positioned in the lobby while the other guard remained in the vehicle. The victims overheard Pooh Shiesty talking on his cell phone, possibly with his federal parole officer, stating that his caseworker had given him permission to be out on rec time.
So you decided to rob Gucci Man soon as you get off the phone with your parole officer. That is the most dumbest decision ever you could have fucking made in your life. What in your mind really made you think this would be the appropriate thing to do? On top of that, rob 3 white executives that was with Gucci Man.
From what the victims could hear, Shiesty was told on the phone that was not the case and he needed to return immediately, to which he agreed. At the time, Shiesty was wearing an ankle monitor. Gucci would tell Shiesty they can reschedule their studio session, but Shiesty asked to speak with Gucci privately in the attached recording room. Gucci would enter the room with Pooh Shiesty, his father, and Big30. The 2 other victims would remain with the 6 suspects, even offering them drinks as 2 of the suspects accepted and poured up. Inside the booth, Shiesty pulled out a contract termination letter telling Gucci to sign it, releasing him from the label. Gucci refused, Shiesty became agitated, and the 2 began to argue. The 2 victims could see the conversation play out, and one of them saw the conversation intensifying, so he texted Gucci's head of security, who was still in the lobby. While arguing, Shiesty instructed Big30 to get his bag. Quick pause, because this might actually help you out. If you've ever option to enter, if you ever feel it's literally go, aiming it would come back into the room with people like you stay more on top of their finances. Big30 would come back into the room with the bag, and Shiesty would pull a Draco, aiming it at Gucci and demanding again that he sign the contract release paperwork.
Damn.
Gucci, now being held at gunpoint and unable to leave the room, complied, signing the paper while Shiesty's father and Big30 stood by. Big30 took out his cell phone and recorded Gucci signing the paperwork while being forced to say he released Pooh Shiesty from his contract. After signing, Pooh Shiesty would take Gucci's wedding ring, watch, earrings, and whatever cash he had on him. Shiesty then handed the paperwork to his father, asking him if it was good, to which he replied, "It needs to be dated." So Shiesty forced Gucci to write the date next to his signature. As Shiesty, Dirty, and Mob Boss exited the recording room, the 6 remaining suspects pulled handguns, AR, and AK pistols and began robbing Gucci's 2 associates. One victim, identified only as BP, would have his pockets ran and his wallet removed by who he identified as CMO Damn Fool, one of Shiesty's goons. His 1017 chain would be taken by another man he knew as Glizzy 375. Glizzy would repeatedly threaten to shoot him for moving, but Shiesty would instruct him not to. According to the victim's statement to police, he witnessed Big30 pointing a cell phone at Gucci within the booth, but assumed he was taking pictures for social media. Victim BP further identified Baby Slime 375 for holding him and others at gunpoint. Victim BP and victim MM would identify KD 375, who they also recognized, as he can be seen on social media with Pooh Shiesty. KD would also hold them at gunpoint. Victim MM is rumored to be Matt Marzal, who goes by the name Multi-Mars. He's a Chicago-based photographer and has been Gucci's personal cameraman for years. It was also Matt who texted Gucci's head of security when he saw the conversation within the recording booth intensifying. Matt was choked from behind almost to the point of losing consciousness, resulting in scratches to his neck and wrist.
Oh yeah, them charges are about to rack up. Y'all did that to a white executive, my nigga. Y'all choked him out, scratched him, and took his AirPods. And y'all know what's crazy is on the AirPods and his phone and watch, they had an air tag on it. So that shit is being traced wherever the fuck you go. Y'all are officially the most dumbest niggas of 2026, bro.
He'd be robbed of his Rolex watch, a Louis Vuitton bag containing multiple high-end watches, and his wallet. He'd confirmed to police his Louis bag, wallet, and AirPods all had an Apple AirTag attached, and he was also able to identify his robber by his Instagram handle of Twin CMO. While the robbery was taking place, Big 30 walked to the door leading to the lobby, closing it and blocking it with his body, preventing the victims from leaving.
Big ass.
But Gucci's security would see what was taking place. Both of Gucci's security guards would draw guns, attempting to force themselves in as they partially opened the door, only to see that they were greatly outgunned. Gucci was pushed onto a couch, causing the victims to believe they were going to be executed.
But that's the crazy part about this whole situation. Why the fuck were the two security guards not with Gucci when him and Pooh Shiesty went into that room privately? I don't understand it. Like, me personally, I would have had way more security guards with me to meet with a nigga named Shiesty. I would not trust nobody named Shiesty, who's known for doing backdoor shit.
Shiesty placed the barrel of his Draco to the back of BP's head, ordering him and Gucci to leave the studio through the west side of the building. Gucci then instructed his security to escort them to their vehicle. As the victims left, Gucci's cameraman turned to Pooh Shiesty and asked if they were really taking his watches. Matt would provide police with the last AirTag locations, which was revealed to be the parking lot of an apartment leased to Pooh Shiesty's father, where Pooh is believed to have been residing in Frisco, Texas.
What'd I say?
Federal investigators would recover photos of the suspect vehicles, a white Buick Enclave, a black Hellcat, and a black Dodge Ram with a roll bar. According to law enforcement databases, Big 30's father owns a 2020 Dodge Hellcat in Tennessee, and license plate readers would place it in Texas during the relevant time period of the robbery and traveling with the two other suspect vehicles. The white Enclave was found to be a rental, rented by none other than Shiesty's dad. Federal investigators would find surveillance video of Shiesty's dad at a Staples, printing out what they believed to be the release contract an hour before he arrived at the studio. The feds would also link all suspects together by cell phone GPS coordinates and would reveal Shiesty's goons were so poor, 4 of them would have to take a Greyhound bus from Texas back to Memphis, Tennessee.
Bro, I never understood people like, bro, if you don't have the money to pay for the fines and pay for lawyer fees, why the fuck are y'all doing the crimes, gang? Like, that's so stupid, bro. I never understood that shit. Stop doing fucking crimes if you don't have the money to back that shit up if you get caught, gang.
Now, remember when the victims offered Shiesty's goons drinks? A left ring finger and right thumbprint would identify the 2 suspects that took drinks as they left their prints on the red cups. The victims obviously knew who Pooh Shiesty was, and Gucci Mane would be listed as one of the victims who identified Shiesty as wearing a Nike mask and hoodie during the robbery.
As he should.
Gucci would also name Big 30 and identify him by his Instagram. In fact, almost every suspect was able to be identified by their Instagram handles. KD would be described as Shiesty's right-hand man. Damn Fool lives up to his name, as he could be seen leaving wearing Gucci's cameraman's Louis bag.
Oh my gosh, y'all were bound to get caught. It seemed like criminals are getting dumber and dumber these days, gang. You're gonna wear the same fucking watch that you just robbed the cameraman that same day, thinking you're not gonna get caught on camera? Bro, you're a fucking dumbass, bro.
He then posted a video to Instagram wearing one of the stolen watches, and another picture would show him wearing the same sneakers worn in the robbery. Twin, who choked out the cameraman, would post multiple pictures of another stolen watch and even the 1017 chain that was taken. Shiesty and his team executed a coordinated armed recording studio takeover, temporarily kidnapping fucking Gucci Mane, robbing the shit out of him and his team, making his security look like bitches, and leaving the scene without firing a single shot. Only for Gucci and his team to fully cooperate with police, leading to a federal takedown and kidnapping charges. More charges can be expected as yet again Pooh Shiesty is alleged to be a felon in possession of another Draco after having just finished a prison sentence for shooting someone in the ass with a Draco.
Or you just got out of jail and then you're going back to jail for the same exact shit. Except for this time, you didn't shoot nobody. Like, that's going to make a difference. Brother, you're going to get life in prison, you and your cousin for sure. Because first off, y'all robbed Gucci Man, who's cooperating. And second off, y'all robbed 2 white executives that came with him. Y'all aren't seeing the light of day. I'm going to just keep it a buck.
All 9 suspects will be facing life in federal prison
For sure.
for conspiring to and committing kidnapping. And I can only imagine what else the feds can add on with all the firepower and priors they had. It will also be interesting to see who chooses to cooperate against who, as Pooh Shiesty's father is no stranger to the feds. Back in 2007, Mob Boss was indicted on drug charges and would be sentenced to 70 months in prison after receiving a 5K1 sentencing reduction for his ongoing and future cooperation with the government, meaning he was snitching and agreed to keep snitching. So this whole fucking case is snitch nasty. Gucci just fucked over Atlanta as the most rat-infested city in hip-hop, adding himself to the list of snitches after Young Thug gave investigators the longest interview of his career. Gunna flipped on Thug, Gunna did Crime Stoppers, T.I. started the Crime Stoppers wave, and Gucci is best friends with QCP. Gucci would even jump on live after the federal takedown was announced, and you'd think he'd talk about how he's far from the streets and too rich to abide by them like QCP did. But instead, Gucci was talking about the exact opposite, saying he'll smoke whoever steps to him, he doesn't believe in telling the police shit, and he's keeping it street. The exact opposite of what he did.
You step to me, I'ma smoke you. Yeah, I ain't gonna tell nobody, not even the police. I don't believe in none of that shit. Only thing I believe in is don't tell the police. Keep it in the street.
Gucci Man, you can't say that, brother. Like, this image that you trying to portray to people is not it, gang. You already told, we already see your name in the paperwork. I'm not mad at you, gang. You did the exact right thing. You're a CEO executive. But don't get on Instagram Live trying to portray a different type of image to the younger generation when that's not the case, bro. That shit weird and lame.
Some are even now pointing out Gucci's old interview speaking on Jeezy, trying to get him killed.
So that situation that we were just talking about with the charges and so forth, do you feel like it was a setup because cats came like after you, like they was coming to get you?
Yeah, I think it was a setup.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have any indications on who it might be? Have you heard anything on the streets? Just whatever you feel in your own heart?
Well, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, ain't too many people got the motive to do some shit like that. I just like a detective, learn, you know what I'm saying, look at the motive, who has motive to do it. And this fuck nigga, the only nigga has motive.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay.
Straight up.
So it's real serious then when we talking about like actually trying to like set somebody to take someone's lives. It's on a whole nother level. It's past just the wax.
It's like, I guess it's scared of competition.
Now, Pooh Shiesty just fucked himself after committing the dumbest robbery with his dad being a whole government informant, and Big30's big door blocking ass is now facing life just because he wanted to be there. Never mind the goons that came up on watches but needed a bus pass to get home. A case that no one expected, and one of the fastest crash outs we've ever seen from a rapper fresh out of prison. This is likely the last time we'll ever see Pooh Shiesty in the free world.
For sure.
Now I'm gonna be honest with you. Hearing Gucci Mane snitched, I was in disbelief. Gucci has been one of my favorite rappers since high school. One of the main rappers I listened to in high school. And seeing the paperwork, it broke my heart. And then like 3 minutes later, I got over it. I mean, what the fuck do we expect in 2026? This man's 46 years old.
No, for real.
I highly doubt he gives a fuck. You know what I'm saying? They took his wedding ring, whatever other shit he had. He goes live talking about he'll smoke somebody. He should have smoked Pooh Shiesty. You know, it would have been a bang out. He really wouldn't have won that situation. I don't know why his security wasn't in the room with him. But Texas self-defense, yeah, he would have got off on that. He should have had some shit on him.
Almost
definitely.
definitely.
You can tell he did not expect this at all. Nobody did. Nobody did. When Seti Nash broke the news, nobody even believed him. Because they were like, ain't no fucking way they playing with Gucci Mane like that. Gucci Mane got did dirty. And It's 100% confirmed. He's cooperated. Not only did he identify what Pooh Shiesty was wearing and identify Big30 by his Instagram, how do you think the feds know exactly what took place inside of that booth? None of the other witnesses were in there, and they couldn't hear what was being said. If you're in a music studio, you can't hear what they're saying in the booth if you're not in the booth and they're not talking on the mic.
That is true.
That means Gucci was the one that told them. We went in there. We started arguing. He pulled out this piece of paper. I said no. He tells fucking 30 to go get his bag. He pulls out a fucking Draco, took all my shit. Gucci told the police all of that information. 100%.
I don't see no wrong with it.
What the fuck is Atlanta gonna do about it? Not a goddamn thing. We know that. Everybody knows that. You know, snitching ain't nothing anymore. And it's crazy because a lot of the rappers that we looked up to, Gucci being one of them, was against all of that shit. And that's why these videos are so important, because you can be young and dumb as I once was, riding around listening to these songs, toting guns like they're doing in these songs, committing crimes like they're rapping about in these songs, just for you to get caught, for you to keep that shit real, for you to get sentenced to all that prison time, and the motherfucker that influenced you to live that lifestyle is a fucking rat.
This is why I tell y'all, bro, the streets are dead. Like, y'all steadily be trying to live up to these personas and be cool for the females, for the dudes. Let me tell you something right now. When you go to prison, ain't none of them niggas is gonna check up on you, send you no money, do any of that. They gonna fuck your bitch. They ain't gonna help you take care of your kid or your mama. You gonna be in there assed out while your family's out here struggling, gang. So if y'all get an opportunity of a lifetime to have generational wealth, take advantage of that. Who gives a fuck what anybody else say that you changed or you're lame now? Who gives a fuck? Be a lame with money. That's the best thing you can do now, for real.
And that's the cold hard truth about this shit. Do I give a fuck about this case? No. I really fucking don't. Am I the biggest fan of Pooh Shiesty? No. I like a couple of his songs, but this motherfucker's a crash out.
Most definitely.
End of story. He's a flat fucking crash out. This is the stupidest fucking crime I've ever heard of. You did this shit while you had on an ankle monitor, literally what, 30 minutes after you got off the phone with whoever, and they're telling you, yo, you do not have permission to leave. You need to go home now. All right, bet. Let me rob Gucci Man first and I'll be back. What? The fuck is wrong with you? And this is what I want to know. How much money do you think he really has after this many years just went by?
He is gonna be broke as fuck. On top of he already has to pay the label back, gang. And then Gucci Man and them executives is finna run him dry. But bro, to all the youngers out there, bro, I hope y'all learn y'all lesson from this. Even some old heads, because I know some old heads got some loose screws, bro. Learn your lesson from this, bro. This shit is dumb as fuck. The streets are dumb. Get your money the right way. Find you a trade or find you entertainment. Whatever the fuck you want to do it. But focus on it and fuck everything else, bro. I love y'all. Make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.